Yeah, I'm the founder and Chief Product Officer of Sentience, and actually the talk of today would be a little bit more about how, what we've learned from going from this very small startup and with having very high ambitions and having global ambitions. And we're not there yet, so please don't consider this talk to be an expert talk on this, but it's just some of the learnings that we had. And if things go well, things should pop up. Yes, cool. So Sentience, our ambition is to actually deliver technology that's capable of sensing, understanding, and predicting the context and human behavior. And we do this predominantly by looking at the sensors that are present on smartphones and wearables. Now, the reason why we're looking at sensor data as a primary source is everyone that is delivering intelligence to their services or clients know that the quality of the intelligence is as good as the source of the data. And this is why actually we use sensors, because this data is observed data. It's observational, not self-declared like Google or Facebook is doing it. We actually don't kind of like this kind of data. Lucky for us, sensor data is growing. By 2020, over 1 trillion sensors will be interconnected over the internet with each other, which is a vast and huge market opportunity that we're obviously willing to take, and we have the right tools and technology to do this for. Turning the sensor data into two domains that we're active in is one is building real-time contextual intelligence, so knowing whether you're asleep or in the car or walking, but also making behavioral profiles. So profiles are actually made on top of observed behavior, not a self-declared data like a Facebook again. So this gives you this 360 view. Our clients have a 360 view of real-time contextual and situational data and behavioral profiling intelligence on their audience. And this is the first time this actually happens. And this might sound really cool, but one of the first learnings that we have is, while the technology is super cool, actually nobody's waiting for this because it's our clients that are paying us to build a solution. And most of the times our solutions, as a data scientist, these might not be as sexy as what's happening under the hood. It's not a Kaggle competition, right? We're a company. We're here to build some products that people are willing to pay for. For example, like in the insurance industry. Mapping and monitoring driving behavior and then providing added value by giving discounts back to the community. This is not as sexy for a data scientist as it might sound. So our global ambition means that we have huge challenges in terms of competence, competition, clients, but also cultural ones. In terms of competence, actually this means that data scientists, we strongly believe that they need to be hunted down. When a data scientist comes knocking on your door and says, hey, why don't you give me a job? Because there's a reason why this guy most likely doesn't have a job to begin with. Good data scientists are really sparse and hard to come by. And this is also why the competition is they're recruiting them like crazy. And don't underestimate the competition that's also globally, like a Microsoft and a Google. These are not the smaller startups that we're mostly afraid of, but also Google and Baidu are doing some pretty cool stuff, and Facebook, let's not forget them. This is why we keep our research and development locally close to us, because Facebook and Google aren't around the corner, but we push our sales on a global scale through localized sales offices, which we found to be a pretty cool and good approach. Working with data scientists, as we recruit many of them as well, is we're looking for multidisciplinary people, having social science background or psychology background or neuroscience background. These are backgrounds that are super valuable for us. This is exactly what we look for in people as well. And last but not least, when you work as a data scientist with global data sets, you quickly learn that the interpretation is also very culturally oriented. Driving behavior in Belgium is completely different than driving behavior from Italy. Trust me, these are facts that we get out of our data. So what actually does it require to go global with this startup is you need to have a solid game plan, like a business plan and financial plan that you and your team can get behind, and most importantly, get your financial backers behind. Because as a data science company, you will be confronted with cold start problems, new and unexplored algorithms you need to test, you need to trial. So you obviously need to bridge this gap with the sound financing strategy as well. So having outside investment is, for most data science companies, a mandatory issue. Not only for this, but also to build a stellar A team. Investors will never invest if your team isn't the best of the best, and your clients will never trust you when your team isn't a stellar team of data scientists. This is why recruitment is so hard. But what's even harder, and it has been for us even harder as well, is to turn this cool technology into this easy and productized solutions, again, because we need to pitch this to clients, and they need to understand this. They're not interested in what's happening under the hood and how, they're only interested in how good, your product works and how they understand this. And this also means that you need to have a solid grasp and understanding of your sales process. If not, you will end up chasing a lot of rabbits out there because the opportunities are vast, but you'll end up, coming back home with an empty-handed, which is a problem because it's also a sign of the times. Data science is pretty hot and cool and sexy, so there are a lot of opportunities, a lot of confusion as well. And actually, we've tried to turn this, and I would advise this to everyone as well, turn this into your own advantage. Because it is hot, turn this into a marketing tool. You're not the startup that doesn't know what you're doing. You're a cool and hot data science startup. If Marc Andreessen once mentioned, and we're rounding up, that software is eating the world, he's dead wrong. Algorithms are eating the world. It's actually AI and data science that's eating the world. And we're pretty hungry, and I assume every one of you is pretty hungry in this field. Thank you.